Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Silva, and I use pronouns she, her, and hers, and I am one of the Open House 2021 co-chairs. We are currently at the College of Liberal Arts College Welcome, and we are so excited to have you here. First off, I just have a message from our provost that I would like to share.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Penny Bennett, and I'm Associate Dean for Student Success. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I wanted to be the first to welcome you from the College of Liberal Arts as an admitted student. I did watch the Provost video, and I think I can summarize that she wanted today to be sort of a day or a week, in this case, that you get all your questions answered. Because as an admitted student, we want you to get to know Cal Poly in any way that we can. I realize that virtually is not the same as being in person, but our goal is really to answer as many questions as we can so that you can make an informed decision of whether to attend Cal Poly or not. Just to give you an idea of the overview, we have about 30 minutes with you today. I have 4 other panelists that will introduce themselves in just a moment. And then we will have Q&A. So if you look on your screen, you'll see the Q&A feature. If you do see the chat feature, I'd appreciate not using that and use the Q&A feature instead. And we have people behind the scenes that can answer your questions while we're presenting. And so if we have time at the end, we will also try to answer some of those questions live, but in the meantime, we'll have them in the Q&A feature. Then we will end no longer than 11:40, at which point we will direct you to department breakouts. And so your chosen major and department chairs will be available to, again, meet with you in a Zoom format and answer any questions you might have. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and let our panelists introduce themselves, starting out with our Dean, Dr. Phillip Williams.
Good morning. I'm Phillip Williams, the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, and my pronouns are he, him, his.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Jennifer Taramoda Pedrotty. I'm the Associate Dean for Diversity and Curriculum, and I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, my name is Christine Lamb. I'm a 4th year political science student, and I use she, her pronouns.
Hello, my name is Austin Mcclellan. I am also a political science student. I am a senior. I use he, him pronouns, and it's a pleasure to see all you.
Great, thank you, panelists. As you may know, Cal Poly and the College of Liberal Arts is very selective. And so just to give you an idea, for the first-time freshmen that we have here on the call, we had just over 10,000 applicants for just over 800 spots. So that calculates to about 8% of those that applied will be coming to Cal Poly. And for you transfer students, just to give you an idea, we had just over 3,100 applicants for just over 200 spots, again, at about a 6.5% selection rate. So very, very impressive. To give you an idea of your qualifications, first-time freshmen, you were offered admission because you're highly qualified. In fact, you are the most qualified cohort to date in the College of Liberal Arts, and your average high school GPA is a 4.06. You should be very proud of yourselves, very impressive. For you new transfers, I will tell you that this also is a very competitive class. The average incoming community college GPA is a 3.57. Congratulations. We hope you will come join us in the fall. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Dean Williams.
Thank you, Dr. Bennett. First of all, I just want to say that I hope you and your families are healthy and that each of you is doing your part to keep others safe. I'd also like to say a few words to our Spanish-speaking families. Espero que tú y tus familias estén bien de salud y quiero felicitarles a todos los estudiantes por haber sido admitidos a Cal Poly. Para los padres de familia que quieren hacer preguntas en español, con mucho gusto podemos responder a sus preguntas en español. Second, I want to echo Dr. Bennett's congratulations to all of you for being accepted to Cal Poly and the College of Liberal Arts. As she said, Cal Poly is consistently one of the most selective public universities in the country. So it's a huge accomplishment that you should be proud of, as well as your families, and give yourselves a round of applause. Hopefully, many of you have already made up your mind about deciding to to choose Cal Poly, but for others of you, this open house might be sort of a deciding factor for you. And so what I wanted to do in the next couple of minutes was just to address a couple of questions that you may have. And the first one is, do I belong and can I do well at Cal Poly? First of all, remember that we offered you admission because of your outstanding record of academic and personal achievement and your strong potential for future success. Secondly, CLA is a college that really prides itself on welcoming students of diverse backgrounds, perspectives, and identities, and a place where all of our students can find Cal Poly's opportunities fully available to them. In other words, you deserve to be here and you certainly belong here. Cal Poly is really a truly exceptional university that is dedicated to supporting your academic and personal success. How can I say that, or how do I know that? Well, I came here recently from the University of Florida, which is a top 10 public university. And I was so impressed by Cal Poly's singular focus on student success that I wanted to be a part of this community. Unlike my previous institution, the University of Florida, here you'll find that most classes are small, usually under 35 students. Our professors, the classes are taught by faculty who are amazing teacher scholars. They'll not only get to know your name, but in most cases, they'll get to also know you as a person. We also have excellent advisors and career counselors who are equally committed to your success. Myself as dean, I have student drop-in hours every week because I want to hear about your experiences and I want to know how we can do better as a college. And also to support your academic and career success, you'll have access to an incredible range of learn by doing opportunities, including internships, study abroad, project-based learning, and undergraduate research. So to answer the first question, not only do you belong here, you can also thrive and be successful here at Cal Poly. A second question you might have is this the right place for me to advance in life and in my career later on? The parents' version of this question is, can my son or daughter get a job after graduating from Cal Poly? In addition to preparing you in your particular major, CLA also educates you to be successful in life and in work. A liberal arts education here at Cal Poly will prepare you to think critically and creatively, to be able to apply your knowledge to real world problems, to communicate effectively, orally, visually, and in writing, to value human diversity and have cultural competence, to collaborate effectively in our increasingly globalized and diverse workforce, to make reasoned, ethical, and responsible decisions, to think across disciplinary boundaries, and have the ability to work with others from different disciplines and perspectives. And finally, to be able to engage in lifelong learning. These are the skills that employers tell us are as important, and if not more important, than the skills that you will develop and learn in your particular chosen major. And let me just finish by emphasizing a few of the takeaway messages. First of all, you belong here and you can be very successful at Cal Poly and the College of Liberal Arts. The College of Liberal Arts and the surrounding community are wonderful places to both learn and live for the next few years of your life. And all of us are dedicated to support your academic and personal success. When you graduate, you will be ready not only to thrive as an employee or a graduate student, but also to contribute to a more equitable, inclusive, and sustainable world. And finally, we can't wait to welcome you in the fall when you'll begin what I think is one of the most important, productive, and rewarding journeys of your life. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Associate Dean for Diversity and Curriculum, Dr. Taramoda Pedrotty.
Thank you, Dean Williams, and welcome to all of you. And thank you for coming to meet us in this virtual format. We hope to meet you in person very soon, as Dean Williams said. I'm Dr. Jennifer Taramoda Pedrotty. I'm the Associate Dean for Diversity and Curriculum in the College of Liberal Arts. And I wanted to say a few words about some of the things that we do with DEI in our particular college. In the CLA, diversity, equity, and inclusion are key values that we embrace in everything we do. Our college is a leader on this campus in this area and has made many positive strides towards creating equitable college experiences for all in our college. You can check out our many initiatives on the CLA website under the diversity tab, but I wanted to tell you about a couple programs in our college just very briefly today. The first is our Multicultural Scholars Program. This is a program that's devoted to creating a strong educational community for students from historically underserved populations. Our goals here are to provide a sense of belonging and support by connecting students to resources designed for personal, academic, and professional success. The Multicultural Scholars Program also partners with our Underrepresented Student Network, which is a student-designed peer mentoring network. The students from our CLA Student Diversity Committee worked with me to create this just a few years ago, and we have a number of mentors and mentees. It's a fantastic community. Another program that I wanted to mention briefly is our ACE program. The ACE program affords stipends to students who are lower income and or first generation college students, and can be used to complete any kind of high impact educational experience during your time here at Cal Poly. Some examples might be to help a student take an unpaid internship, or to help with costs related to travel to a conference or participating in study abroad. This is one more way that we're trying to make sure that a variety of experiences are accessible to all of our students. Mentoring from faculty and or leadership in the college is also a part of what students receive when they're part of the ACE program. And lastly, I wanted to point to our curriculum as another source of DEI education. We have a multitude of classes, as you'll soon see, that are focused on areas of diversity and equity, and our professors understand that good teaching is inclusive teaching. We're also heavily involved with university training programs such as intergroup dialogues, and being a student in the College of Liberal Arts means you get the kinds of opportunities to develop into the kind of global citizen that so many employers are looking for these days. So I hope that I'll have the chance to meet all of you in person in the future. Again, you'll see several links in the chat, so please check out our programs and opportunities. Also our new first generation college student webpage. And I hope you have a great rest of your open house experience. And with that, I'll turn it over to one of our wonderful students in the political science department, Christine Lamb.
Hi everyone, my name's Christine and I'm a fourth year political science student. So I'm going to be honest, when I first came to Cal Poly, I really struggled with finding my place and figuring out whether I belonged here and if I wanted to stay in my major. But I started getting more involved, such as being in CLA ambassadors, joining a multitude of multicultural organizations, and just being more involved in the university as a whole. That's when I really started finding my place and really enjoying my time here. Through these experiences and clubs, I got to work with all three deans seen in the panel today. And if you don't know what a dean is in a college setting, they're pretty high up there. So as a student, that provided great opportunities for me and mentorship in a sense from these people who are so accomplished. As an undergraduate student, I got to do research. I was selected and nominated by Cal Poly to intern in Washington, D.C. for the United States House of Representatives. And now I work at an engineering company as a project management intern. So in a sense, the limits of what you can do with a CLA degree are endless. Going up to an engineering company at a career fair and finding out that you're not an engineering major, they're kind of like, oh, like what's going on here? But the skills that you learn, especially the people skills to ensure that projects are properly executed and facilitated and managed, require a lot of people skills that we learn in the CLA. So, and also Cal Poly alum, which are far and wide within industries and companies, they're always going to be on your side and willing to help you out. And I can attest to that since I've had a lot of issues determining what I want to do. And all I do is I reach out to alumni and I'm like, hey, can you give me some advice of what you do day to day? And then they're so friendly and they're like, yeah, feel free to give me a call. If you ever want to try out this industry, let me know and we can see if we can set anything up. So Cal Poly alum, they're going to be one of your biggest supporters when you're in college and when you leave. And in a sense, I'm really jealous that you're in this position because I'm almost done here at Cal Poly. But I will be completely honest and say that this university has completely changed my life and the course of my family, since I am a first generation student and I would not have been able to do all the things that I have done without the support of the faculty, the friends that I met here, and the community support systems that have been implemented and continually grow as time goes on. And with that said, I'm going to pass it to my friend and fellow CLA ambassador, Austin.
Hello, folks. My name is Austin Mcclellan. I am a political science student with a concentration in pre-law and a minor in psychology. And first off, I just want to say congratulations. It is such an honor to get into Cal Poly. I remember when I was in your seats just 3 years ago, and just how amazed I was about the whole process. Cal Poly is a wonderful university that I've been able to truly find my community with. To echo a bit of what Christine said, it is difficult sometimes, especially during your first year, no matter where you go, on finding people, but there are so many opportunities to get a community in the College of Liberal Arts that, as long as you put yourself out there, you'll find something. I'm a proud member of the Cal Poly mock trial team. I actually dyed my hair for the playoffs this past January. I'm normally a brunette. I'm a proud member of Phi Alpha Delta, the pre-law fraternity at Cal Poly, as well as a journalist for Cal Poly's Mustang News, award-winning Mustang News, I must say. There's something here for everyone, and there's a whole lot of things to do. Some of the reasons why I picked Cal Poly, because I can imagine many of you have a lot of colleges to pick from. And if I'm being frank, Cal Poly wasn't my first choice. There is sometimes this association with state schools, but I realized when I toured this place, there is something unique here that is special in the state of California. As first in my family to go to college, it was a big decision for the entire family of where I was going to be going in the fall. And when I weighed my options, it was smaller class sizes, a genuine experience that whenever I tell people why I like Cal Poly, it's big school amenities with a small school feel. I haven't had a class above 35 students, just like Dean Williams said. And I've had professors that have real experiences they can share with me as a legal student. I've had actual award-winning attorneys from the SLO area teach me classes. And it's really getting me prepared for the journey to law school, and after that, becoming an employee and joining the workforce. Cal Poly has just been super great to me. It gave me an opportunity when some universities didn't, and I'm so gracious for that opportunity. I've been able to graduate a full year early with a concentration and a minor, and been able to do a laundry list of activities that I'm proud to bear the name Cal Poly with. So I really hope you guys can choose Cal Poly, because it has done a world of good for me, and I know it's going to do a world of good for you. So thank you so much for coming today, and I really hope to see you guys in the fall.
Thank you, panelists. So it does look like we do have some time to answer some questions live. So I was keeping an eye on the Q&A. So I'll start with a few, and then I'll pass some off to our panelists. So one of the questions was, can you change your major at Cal Poly? And I would say I can certainly speak to the College of Liberal Arts. Certainly within the College of Liberal Arts, we have a very good path for changing majors into other majors within our college. If you want to transfer to a major outside of our college, they have a process. It's not impossible, but I can't necessarily say there's a guarantee that you could change to another college. But within our college, we try to make it a viable option for you. I think there were some questions about fall courses, online versus hybrid versus in person. I think I'll let our dean talk about what we are thinking about for fall at this point.
In terms of kind of the balance of courses, yeah. So I think fall is going to be sort of what I would say sort of a transitional quarter. It looks like in our college that at least a bit more than half of our classes will be in person. There'll still be a fairly large number of classes that are virtual in the fall, but I know a lot of the departments are especially aware that it's important for our first-time freshmen to have the opportunity to have at least some in-person classes in the fall. Obviously, as a university, we're dependent on the guidance from the CDC and local health officials. This past year, we were only able to offer about 10 or 12% of courses in an in-person format with a lot of restrictions in terms of physical distancing. So we've planned for the fall as if we're going to be in a much different health situation, a much better health situation, but obviously with some caution. But there will be a lot of in-person classes available across the college. It will vary from one department to another. And as I said, I think fall is going to be sort of a transition. And then as we get into the winter quarter, for sure, will be returning as long as the health trajectory continues in a positive way. I'd imagine that most of our courses will be back to in-person in the winter.
Thank you, Dean Williams. I also wanted to address a few issues about advising. So there are a couple questions about who would be the academic advisor. So for first-time freshmen, we have a Mustang Success Center that will be primarily advising first-time freshmen. And then we do have a couple amazing CLA advisors answering questions behind the scenes. And so for you new transfers, you will come directly to our College of Liberal Arts Advising Center for advising. I think another couple of questions were related to registration and scheduling. So for first-time freshmen, we do block scheduling for your first quarter. And so, so you will be blocked into courses based on your major. So your department has looked at GE and major courses that they recommend. And so you will automatically get those classes in your schedule. And I believe they come out somewhere around the first week in August. If you do want to change your schedule, we highly recommend you check with an advisor before changing your schedule. And for you new transfers, I think it was put in the Q&A that we have a slow transfer days, I should say, August 12th and 13th. And that will be the time you will be registering for your classes. We're actually in the process of setting aside courses right now for both new freshmen and new transfers to make sure that you get a full class load towards your degree. I know there's been some questions about housing, so I'm going to pass it over to Austin. And Christine, if you want to jump in to talk a little bit about your housing experience.
Sure. At Cal Poly with first year housing, we have learning communities based on your major or based on your college, excuse me. And in my freshman year, I lived in the College of Liberal Arts learning community, as they're called. I was in the Red Bricks, if you've heard about them or seen them, and it was a wonderful experience. Being in that community with people that were in majors that were mine or related to mine gave me some wonderful insight of what I was a part of. It helped me form friendships that I still have to this day. It helped me, meet new and unique people. And, one of the best things is people watching on a Friday night, just in the common rooms. It was a lot of fun. So when you're picking which housing communities that you can be a part of, because Cal Poly offers a wide variety of different communities based on different themes, joining the liberal arts learning community is huge in establishing a quick network of people that are taking classes that you're a part of, classes related to what you're a part of. And you have RAs there that have an immense wealth of knowledge about this university that can help you navigate through what can sometimes be a messy first year. But I felt incredibly supported by my housing community, and I would, never trade it away for anything. So when you are picking your housing, if you do come to Cal Poly, I highly encourage you to go to the liberal arts housing because you're going to meet some really great people.
Yeah, unfortunately, I did not get to live in a dorm. I lived in an apartment, but I did experience the freshman 15. So don't worry about food because, still going to be able to eat pretty decent food. I feel like it's gotten a lot better since I was a freshman. But building on Austin's point about the learning community, I lived in the scholar learning community for 2 years, but a clarification was that I was not a scholar, but just being able to live with the same people for 2 years and really building the connections and being able to know who your next door neighbor is or who basically everyone in the building is has its really big advantages, and I would not trade it for anything.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that information. Yeah, so I think our students by and large find it, once we're back into normal full-time session, find that on-campus housing an amazing experience. I think there's a question about transfers, and transfers do have limited housing opportunities here on campus, but there's also ample off-campus housing for them. So there was a few questions about what is a full-time status for students. So we are on the quarter system, which means we're 10 weeks versus 15 weeks for semester schools. I think most of our students and faculty find that to be engaging. It goes quickly, but they find the pedagogy a much better learning experience. And I also wanted to say that we have many learn by doing opportunities in the College of Liberal Arts. Sometimes there's this misconception that, you know, well, how can you learn by doing in the College of Liberal Arts? And certainly our students can talk to some of those experiences, but we have a whole host of learn by doing opportunities, whether it be internships, whether it be experiences like Christine did with the Panetta Institute, whether it be some of the events that Austin has participated in some of his classes. And I would say all of our majors have a learn by doing component of some sort. We have in our philosophy and communication studies, we have debate teams and ethic bowls. In political science, we have our, I've forgotten, Christine, what's the name of the student learning competition in political science?
I mean, we have in political science, we have our own journal that we publish of all student papers, Paideia. We have the bill writing class. You can actually learn how to write a law, which actually gets discussed at the California State Legislature in Sacramento. So I might be a little biased because I'm a political science student, but those are some other examples of learn by doing in political science.
Model UN, that's what it was. Sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, and Austin's also involved with Mustang News, which is another learn by doing opportunity. The Mustang Media, we have the radio, the news, television. So students are able to actually practice the profession of journalism, as well as those interested in public relations. They can do public relations, have clients. Graphic communication is another one. We have a student-run graphic systems printing company run by the students in the department. So those are just a few.
Can I chime in too that in psychology, we're one of the only programs that offers actual counseling training in our helping relationships class, where students will work to learn how to advise other students and to be kind of coached through that process. And again, there's not that many opportunities for that in the CSU. The psychology students also are available or accessible to do different kinds of other internships on campus that have to do with things like peer health, et cetera. And so you might be able to learn how to do that type of counseling as well.
Yes, thank you, panelists. And I also wanted to mention, I don't know if any of the panelists want to chime in, you may have gathered that we're very interdisciplinary. There were several questions in the chat about minors, and we highly encourage all of our students to do minors. We certainly encourage them, once we're back to normal, to do study abroad. And so I think, as Dr. Williams mentioned, we have journalism and graphic communication, but we also have our music programs. So we actually have participation in music and theater programs from all across the university, not just in our college. So I think you'll find that we are very interdisciplinary. I don't know if any of our other panelists want to comment on that.
One of my favorite things about being at Cal Poly is how great the other classes can be. As much as I love my political science classes, studying other disciplines has been insanely helpful to me, having a wealth of knowledge as I'm about to graduate. The fact that I can pick up a minor and still graduate a year early because there's certain crossover. I could take a psychology class that also works towards my political science degree. The university really encourages it. The fact that the most minors offered at the university are within the College of Liberal Arts, and it shows because students love taking minors in the College of Liberal Arts because we've got meaningful things to teach. So it's been a pleasure. Some of my favorite classes have been have been non-political science. My anthropology course, I took a computer science course that intersect the liberal arts and computer science. At Cal Poly, you can really get some unique education because the professors are passionate about what they teach.
Yeah, and the focus on interdisciplinary studies really just reflects what's in the actual industry. So a lot of courses actually you pair up with many different majors and you try to develop a product or a business model, and you're trying to solve this problem overall, and you're working with engineers, business majors. One of the best classes that I took was solving big world challenges, which was co-taught by a business professor and a communications professors, where you work with people from all different majors to try to solve this one problem. And it's really teaches you how to work with people in different disciplines to go towards one specific goal.
Great, thank you for adding that. The one last thing I want to share, and maybe you've gathered this from our panelists, is that our faculty really come here to teach. They love teaching. And so if you're thinking about deciding between us and a UC, which is usually, our admitted students are admitted to also many UCs. That's the one thing. There's many things, but I think that's the one thing that stands out for me is what differentiates us from some of the UCs. You're in small classrooms, your faculty know you by name, they care about you. They're also involved in research. In fact, they involve many of their students in undergraduate research. So I think that's really the one thing that we have to offer is that small college feel with the big college knowledge and expertise.
I would just echo what Dr. Bennett said. I was an undergraduate at UCLA, and then I was at a large public institution at the University of Florida. And I was blown away the fact that every student at Cal Poly, regardless of your major, is required to do a senior project. At UCLA or the University of Florida, maybe 10% of students do a senior project or thesis. But the fact that every student at Cal Poly has that opportunity, what that means is you're going to work closely with a faculty member to carry out that project. And so it's not that other institutions don't have those opportunities, but they're not available to most students. So that is something very, very unique about Cal Poly.
Thank you. So I think we're coming close to the end here. So there's been several questions in the Q&A about next steps. Are we going to meet with our department representatives? And the answer is yes, absolutely. So what we've did is we've created Zoom links for every one of our departments that you've been admitted to, and they will start at 11:45. So when we close this webinar, you'll have a little bit of a break, but you can find those links on 3 different places. And one would be the virtual open house website that you came to register for this particular webinar. The other would be the Cal Poly Now app. And then the third place would be our own college website, cla.calpoly.edu. And so the same links are in all 3 places. If you want to stick around and talk with us one-on-one, we're certainly welcome to stay around. But if not, you're welcome to head out for a break and go to your Zoom sessions. And we certainly thank you all for coming. And I'm going to turn it over to our orientation folks for some closing comments.
Hello. Okay, so we're going to start out with trying to play that video one more time from the Provost. So I'm going to send that over to my colleague's computer. We're going to try to do that real quick.
Welcome to Cal Poly. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Open House and welcome to Cal Poly. I am Dr. Cynthia Jackson Elmore, and I serve as Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs at Cal Poly. The Provost is the lead academic officer of a university. I oversee all 6 colleges, as well as the Robert E. Kennedy Library, University Advising, the Transfer Student Center, International and Extended Education, and many departments you will encounter during your time at Cal Poly. I hope that you've enjoyed the first few days of our virtual open house and that you are looking forward to engaging with your college, departments, and additional academic services today. The deans, department heads and chairs, faculty and staff in our colleges and across the university have been hard at work to make today as helpful as possible to you. Whether you've already committed to attend Cal Poly or you are still making your decision, Open House is an important and exciting step in your college journey. And I am glad that you have joined us today. I encourage you to ask questions today and beyond. We are eager to help you and to talk about Cal Poly, and I am sure you are eager to learn. I am thrilled to welcome you to Cal Poly, and I hope you have a wonderful open house experience. Thank you for being a part of this week's events. Take care.
All right, once again, we want to thank you for coming. I am going to reiterate what Penny just said. Definitely go log on to our app CP Now, and then also on the virtual open house website where you will be able to find your department centers that will be meeting. I believe they said 11:45 starting. So definitely check those out. You can register on there too if you want to. That helps us get a better number idea, so please register. Second, we do have other events coming up today. We have the transfer event from 1:30 to 2:30. And then we also have a Mustang Success Center event, which is basically the advising for first year. So a lot of you will definitely want to hear from them to hear about your academic advising. And that's at 2:30 to 3:30. And then later this evening, we have an alumni panel. So you can learn what to do with your degree. We have a large variety of alumni, and you can definitely hear what to do with your College of Liberal Arts degree. Super cool jobs after this. Highly recommend attending that. And that's from 4 to 5:30. And again, really just want to thank you for coming to Open House as a whole. And thank you for coming to this session. And if you want to stay behind, we will still be here for a little bit, like they just said. So thank you so much.
Hey there, my name is Rafael. I'm a fourth-year journalism transfer student with a minor in Spanish, and my pronouns are he, him, his. Thank you for watching the video. Please share any questions or comments you have down below in the comment section, and go ahead and click here to subscribe. And to watch more videos, click here. If you want to sign up for a virtual visit or talk to any student or staff members, check out our website. Link in the description. Thank you for watching.